Aromie here. Welcome back to Degraman. We're here, meeting up with everyone. Vincent just threw a pillow at Ryu because he played too much. Their childish exchange is annoying, but at least I now know Purple Eye's name. Oh, his name was Castle, not Cassie. My bad, Castle. Castle, no point in hiding my name since you already know everyone else's. Vincent's tall, but he approaches us and shrugs. He's holding several bags to take out. Like ravenous beasts, they all attack the food. I need to eat too. There's no strength without food, and if there's anything I desperately need right now, it's strength. I hope these guys aren't devious enough to spike the grub, then pack it back up again. Vincent and Castle settle down next to us while Ryu begins to eagerly help unpack the food. It's a tradition of ours to greet new arrivals with food and party. Ryu continues to chat happily as he rifles through the delicious-smelling bags. Would you like a dumpling, little starlet? I hope you're okay with accepting food from a stranger. You know, you're quite cute, but you're not my type. Ryu pulls out a box of large Asian dumplings and scarfs down half of them in a blink of an eye. Delicious! And then pauses for a moment and with great difficulty hands me a single piece. Oh my god, he's trying to lull me into complacency with those cheap compliments of his? Do I really have to eat from his chopsticks? I lean back and hiss. I'm not a child. I'm independent and can feed myself. Listen, girl, you're being a little too much here. That's not very nice, Starlet. That nickname he's given me makes me feel uncomfortable, but I'll save my objections for later. Picking out the most secure-looking containers from the pile, I begin to eat. I doubt they're trying to poison me, although I suspect this may be an attempt to appear friendly so that I'll lower my defenses, which unfortunately won't work since not only am I eating to nourish my body, but also to deal with stress. I really shouldn't panic, besides the food is comforting. Ryu doesn't waste any time inhaling his food into 2 large gulps. He then turns to me without missing a beat. We're kind of like superheroes. Surprised I nearly spit out my food. We're so awesome. We have superpowers and we slay monsters. And you're even awesomer. Puzzled by Ryu's nonsense, I stare at him dumbly. Eat! You need lots of energy. Yum yum. Do you watch superhero movies? We're so much cooler than those characters. Check this out. Quickly stands up and the others scurry away from him just as quickly, scattering food in the process. Wow. You throwing jewels? Ryu takes a graceful step forward and suddenly the air around him begins to sparkle with shiny, extremely sharp-looking blades. Where did they come from? Will you cut that out, you idiot? You nailed the vegetable to the floor. Cass hurries to help Sebastian, whose shirt has been pinned to the floor by Ryu's blades. The knives perfectly outline Bassie's silhouette, reminding me of the popular circus tradition. Ooh, look at the little animal. Victor continues to lounge quietly off to the side as a strange creature that resembles a salamandra. I was gonna say salamander. Salamandra darts around him. Some of Ryu's blades are stuck on spikes. Just as I begin to muse over Mark surviving the rains of blades, Ragnar distracts me from my thoughts. I kinda forgot about this guy. Kinda forgot about him. Ah, Ryu is wreaking destruction and havoc again, eh? And without me? Inhaling deeply from his hookah, Ragnar blows the shimmering smoke into the air, forming the outlines of what looks to be the Titanic. What? That's not a... What? Wait, what? Which then rams into Ryu at full speed, knocking not only him to the floor, but everything else in the room as well. Quiet! Mark's voice calls out to us from behind a fallen chair, judging by the light radiating around it. Okay, yeah. I cannot read today. Something strange is going on over there. We need to calm them down. Cass looks at me and sighs, and pulls the final blade from Sebastian's shirt. Freed from his shackles, Bassie disappears behind the chair, a movement before Mark screams. No, anything but that! The light in the air slowly fades as Cass turns to Ragnar and snatches his hookah away, and the deeply offended genie glares back at him. At the same time, Vincent ceremoniously shoves a lollipop into Ryu's mouth just as he pulls himself up from the floor. I drew you. Sitting down next to me, Victor hands me a picture. Dazed, stunned, and shocked by the gluttonous revelry, I stare at him blankly. I can't believe what I'm seeing. The picture's accuracy is astonishing. There's just one problem. I'm completely naked, and everything that's hidden beneath my clothing is drawn with startling precision. How? I've got a good imagination. More like good vision, X-ray to boot. Then don't look at me. Ever. And don't think about drawing me. Angrily grab the drawing, tear up the drawing, accuse Victor of only thinking about sex. I don't like any of these choices. but I'll just angrily grab the drawing. That seems like the least rude thing. There's no way I'm letting that pervert keep a naked picture of me. Who knows what disgusting things he'll do with it. Snatching it right out of Victor's hands, I tucked the drawing away in the pocket of my cardigan. I hope no one else saw it. Victor looks at me with cool eyes, and I just now realized they're actually red. Turn around, right now. I don't want you looking at me. He grunts and looks away. Stunned by the current situation, I find myself sitting quietly on a mattress on the floor. It seems the guys are starting to gather around me again. Don't worry, I only show my drawings to those I've drawn. Thanks, I guess. You're very tense, perhaps a little relaxation. Oh, sure, and let you do something disgusting with me? No, thanks. I don't trust these people at all. I'm sure they're trying to mess with my head and misleading me as to what's really going on here. The only person I can trust right now is myself, at least until I understand what their motives are. Will you stop saying that? Besides, I'm already relaxed. Alright then, whatever you say. Victor seems to have his face buried in a drawing right now. How boring. You're finally among your own, and you don't seem the least bit happy about it. Why should I be happy? I was kidnapped, forced to meet that suspicious dude, and now you're all scaring me with all sorts of weird tricks. Indignant, Vincent almost cries out. Kidnapped? Kidnapped? I saved you from the clutches of that hex. You didn't save me from anything. Was it my fault you fainted from your encounter with that thing? Was it my fault you had to face off against it by yourself? Yes, it was. If he had arrived earlier, she would have been saved earlier, and thus Aromie Chico would not have lost consciousness and would have enthusiastically greeted her savior. Now you're merely a stranger demanding recognition. I mean, Ragnar is right around here for that part. Ragnar howls and Vincent glares at him angrily, but I continue to listen. By the way, why were you late? You're usually much more punctual. Victor glances up at Vincent, who shivers. It's none of your business. They all fall silent, and so I decide to say something. What's a hex? Monsters that hunt those like us, especially the weak and inexperienced who are unable to defend themselves. Like us. I would ask this overgrown turd to elaborate on what he means by that, but I don't want to aggravate the situation any further. What makes you think you're all so special? What do you mean? They literally showed you their powers, all of them. Oh, well, not all of them, but I already told you, we're superheroes. I can't resist shooting daggers at Rio. What do you mean, superheroes? We have abilities that exceed those of normal human beings. You mean these tricks you've been doing? Why do you so badly wish to believe that all things you have witnessed were simple tricks? That is nothing more than smoke and mirrors. His haughty tone fills me with rage. Says the guy who draws porn. Victor taps his pencil on a piece of paper, then flips it around to show me. That mask. It's the same one I saw before losing consciousness. Unpleasant images of my insane day begin flooding through my mind until my head aches and my entire body feels ill. Yeah, if this is a trick, it's an incomprehensible one and low budget. Here's your hacks, or should I say altered. You probably saw at least one of them. You fainted because it was your first time encountering a muta room. The discomfort you're feeling now is the result of your denial of reality. Trying to organize my thoughts and shake my head. Sighing, Victor erases the drawing. Okay, let's say I believe you. So then there are monsters that hunt you. And now you as well. Fine, let's assume that's true. And if that is true, then don't bring your stupid superhero nonsense into this. Superheroes aren't real. They're a phenomenon of entertainment culture. Oh, they hurt his feelings. We're Kwanzis, but that's besides the point. So you have a name. Okay, whatever. Just why are these monsters after you? Because we can stop their destructive activities, just as they can stop yours. I can't resist commenting what I saw just 5 minutes ago. That mayhem doesn't quite add up with what they're telling me. The only reaction I get is Ragnar's smile, and I'm given no choice but to continue. Fine, let's assume that there are indeed superheroes and monsters. What do I have to do with any of this? You're a Kwanzi too. But I don't have any abilities. Checkmate, cultists. Ragnar whistles loudly as he blows a colored smoke. They just haven't manifested yet, but the simple fact that you're here already proves you're a Kwanzi. I sigh and rub my temples. Why is this so hard to understand? I don't know, girl. I think you're just stupid. You're literally in denial right now, but we can't blame her for that because she literally doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Because she woke up, 2 strange dudes are here, and now she's filling a room with more strange dudes. So I'm not gonna be mad at her for reacting like this because this is a lot to take in. Obviously, when she calms down and is alone in her own space to think it all out, she'll realize, like, okay, what they were telling me, shit might be real actually, because they've already proved it. Okay, let's make one more assumption. Let's assume I'm also a Kwanzi and that my abilities just haven't shown themselves yet. What makes me so special that you need me? We couldn't leave you in a bind. So you're the good guys, right? Then why have these two done nothing but be rude to me, threaten me? None of this adds up. You're rude first. You shouldn't be rude to girls. Our starlet was scared and confused. Then along came your funny looking faces. Stop poking at me. I don't like interacting with people, and you know it. I was given 2 jobs, rescue the girl and bring her here. I've done both. That's the end of my involvement. Yeah, Ian's HR policy is certainly questionable. Shut up. If you don't like it, go tell him yourself. Vincent and Castle both stand up. I was worried you might get hurt, but I see I can safely leave now. Farewell. Then they silently leave us, which seems to suit both Ragnar and Victor just fine, the former happily puffing away on his pipe while the latter returns to his drawing. It seems that at some point during our conversation, Sebastian and Mark had wandered off. Mark's nose had 2 bladed tissues sticking out of it, and to be honest, I really don't want to know what they do when no one's looking. Ryu glances at me sadly, then finishes his noodles. I'm torn between my distrust of these guys and my desire to ask them 1,000 questions. And I'm so confused. I wish I knew what I should do in this ludicrous situation. With nothing else to do, I continue to sit quietly and contemplate everything I just heard. Everyone has stopped paying attention to me, but eventually Victor's phone rings. I'm afraid I must take my leave, but I do hope you consider staying with us. Ta-ta! Shortly after Victor departs, Ragnar takes a couple of puffs from his pipe, then turns to me with a serious look on his face. Seems the party, if this miserable gathering can be called that, is over. Everyone is leaving. You need to decide if you're with us or not. Your concerns are understandable, but you must also understand us. It's difficult to gain someone's trust when they refuse to believe that which they see with their very own eyes. No one is keeping you here. You may leave whenever you choose, and you just let me go. I glanced skeptically at Ragnar. Yes. Then why the circus? Why force me here? Keep me here just to tell me all this nonsense. To give you the opportunity to believe and stay with us of your own free will. We have done all we could. Let's go. I guess I should believe them for now. Ragnar stands and a sad-looking Ryu joins us. We head out into the corridor and Ragnar opens one of the identical doors across the hallway to a very familiar-looking business building. Please wait. Stopping mid-stride, I sigh. The danger you face is real. Once you leave and are far from our reach, you will be attacked. Well, you guys seem nice. I'm sure you'll come and save me if anything happens, right? We don't have time to babysit you. We've already wasted enough. The day's events flash before my eyes, but I can't heads or tails any of it. I need to somehow sort things out. Chapter 4, right? That's how you read Roman numeral. I'm still standing here lost in thought, wondering if I have any real choice in the matter when Ragnar prods. Made a decision. Well, obviously, I'm staying because I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go after them telling me that I could die any second and they're not going to be there to save me. A lot happened today, but there's one thing I know for sure. That masked creature was definitely more frightening than these superheroes. At least these guys talk instead of silently flooding the cafeteria and freezing time. Suppose I stay, then what? Ryu, who had been standing by silently before, immediately screams happily at the same time as Ragnar. They're far too cheerful for a handful of superhumans dealing with a global menace. Is it really true what the movies say, that with great power comes great responsibility? Because if I didn't know any better, I'd say it's great irresponsibility with these guys. Interrupting my thoughts, Ryu tries grabbing my hand, but I manage to slap his wrist away. Still, I end up following him to a door near the kitchen. This is your room for the night. We all slept here when we first arrived. Ragnar stands leaning against the door jamb, looking thoughtful. Mark, sweetie, can you help us here? I'll send you a new kitten gift. Oh, that's right. He likes kittens, right? As if magic, Mark is suddenly beside us, staring at Ryu with indifference. Our little star needs some casual clothes. Mark sticks out his hand and his outlines blurs for a moment. Not an instant later, he's handing me one of my nighties. Stop parading our Spitfire's lingerie around like that. Angrily snatching my nightie out of Mark's hand, I stuff it into my jacket pocket. Damn, my jacket pocket must be huge, or my nightie is very thin. Must you constantly put me in these awkward situations? I'm tired of it. How do you all live surrounded by such filth? Not one of them responded to my remarks. How rude. Anything else? Spitfire, don't be shy. Tell Uncle Mark what else you need from home. Uncle? Well, at least it's not Daddy. Mark grins the outline of his body becoming transparent as he moves towards the wall, but instead of smashing his face into it, he disappears right through. Oh, there he goes. Lover English teen farewells. Why don't you get settled in? And I'll see you tomorrow. Sweet dreams. Ryu flashes me a friendly smile, then waves us farewell before leaving. This, where we're also going to end today's episode off with Ryu here. I am kind of sad you can't actually romance all these characters, but like I've mentioned before in the reviews, there's no true happy ending. It seems all like it's all bittersweet, so I guess it's best to not get attached to anybody. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.